Hello friends and welcome back to Warded Door. I am excited to have you here. Today we're going to review part 2 of Our Forgotten Realms continuity, which is the continuity my social circle and I played through from 2003 to this day. We covered 1372 DR last episode, and we're moving into 1373, Year of the Rogue Dragon. In our time, we're in about 2004, so I'm young and even more handsome. Hard to believe, I know. So, we were following our three PCs, the Barbarian, Bubbles of Tempest, the Fighting Monk, Solon Miata, and Zelish, the Virf Nebelin Rogue. So, where are we in the storyline at this point? First, let's review our players as it is overdue. Here's my man Daly. He plays Bubbles of Tempest, Ando, the Fighting Monk, Solon Miata, and Mike, who is the Virf Nebelin Rogue. Now, in the Year of Rogue Dragons, the first thing that happens in our continuity is that Fazul Chimbril, leader of the Church of Bane and one of the head figures in the Zentarum, pays Artemis Entreri to kill someone, and that someone is Sememon. Sememon, with the help of Kelvin Blackstaff Arunson, has recently left the Zentarum and its responsibilities behind him. As a rogue and what Fazul considers a traitor, he charges Entreri to kill Sememon and bring him his head. Now, Ashemi, Sememon's consort, at the same time approaches our three-player characters and asks them to retrieve something from the Darkhold. The Darkhold is a giant-built fortress controlled by the Zentarum in the Western Heartlands. And when I say it was built by giants, I mean it. Giant doorways, giant gates, giant pillars, giant windows. It's all for giants. So, being successful, the PCs get the items with some inside advice from Ashemi and return. There they meet Sememon, who they don't completely trust, which is wise, but they are well rewarded. After the PC's success in making a few important contacts, they begin to wander the central part of the realms west of the Sea of Fallen Stars. Parading through the Dale lands, desperately searching for a way to reach Menzo Baranzan, they hear tales of the Sage of Shadowdale, Elminster. Making contact with him at his tower is difficult, but he finally allows them an audience. Once he does, he asks the PCs to pursue several small missions, and if they are successful, he promises to help them on their long quest to liberate this fabled child from the Dark Elf City. After a few minor successes, Elminster asks that the player characters bring to him Morntarn, a local druid and a man of great influence. It is to provide him with one of the blades of Korusk, Greenswathe, the scimitar specially designed for druids. Elminster goes on to tell the PCs that the 5 blades of Korusk actually originated in the world of Greyhawk, and that they must have landed in the realms by a means beyond the scope of normal magic. Perhaps they serve a purpose here, as to better the realms, and he encourages the player characters to find the remaining blades and use them to spread good throughout Toril. Elminster also rewards the player characters with a harper pin, indoctrinating them into the righteous organization of mages and bards that seek to help better the realms and improve the lives of the people in it. He also tells them, if they are looking for Menzo Baranzan, that they should visit Candle Keep along the Sword Coast, the great library of the realms, where he's sure that they can research a way to get to the Dark Elf City. On the way, across the Western Heartlands, Zelish is kidnapped by Artemis Entreri while Solon and Bubbles are distracted. When that happens, Sememon, always keeping track of his foes and allies, arrives. Once he does, a battle ensues in which he drives Entreri off, liberating Zelish. Now, we can hardly consider Sememon and the player characters friends, but it seems now that Entreri is after both of them. The contract now extends to the PCs because Fazul is extremely upset with the disruption they've caused his organization throughout their lower levels. I must say the most important thing to happen in 1373 is the coming about of a new game in our continuity. This introduces Alexander Coronata Thaid, a member of the Horde far to the east, played by Mike. Alexander's a terrible human being and a murderous cannibal. The second character brought in is Balaam Steelstriker, a dwarf cleric of Tempest with very loose morals and a very extreme drinking problem. The third character, Dinan of Chednazad, is a dark elf exiled from that city in the Underdark, played by myself. At that time, Daly took over the DM screen in this evil game as we move forward. Now, we have 6 player characters in one continuity, both games running together. This is around 2004, mind you. The one last thing that will be important, very relevant later to our continuity, is the fact that Bahamut, god of the metallic dragons, all Good-Aligned dragons, has returned from an ancient prison from which he was confined. Now, that ends our continuity in 1373 DR. Make sure to tune into episode 3 in 1374 DR as our continuity continues. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like my video, sucks to suck. And I mean you, not me.